Alright, if you want to see how I created logic and views for following other accounts on our app, you came to the right place. This is the video for it. And I'm gonna start immediately without an introduction here. I need to create a view for following and unfollowing users, of course. So this is the initial idea. The problem we are having and facing is that we don't have a view for this. So let's create a method. It's going to be called user follows, and it's going to take a request as a parameter. I think I need to add some meta decorators, definitely login required, because it would be weird to follow other users without being logged in. Require post, because obviously when we want to follow other users, we are sending data to the server. And Ajax required, because most probably we will do something asynchronously here. Let's start. What I'm gonna get in the request is most probably an ID of the user I want to follow. There's gonna be a request, post, get ID. How I usually retention data and knowledge regarding concepts is by not taking too much care and effort into the syntax. Request, post, get. I don't care about this, because Node will have a different syntax. Other backend languages and frameworks will have different syntax. The only thing I want to know, and this is again the way I'm learning, is okay, I need that ID, I can get it from the request. How it's written, I don't care much about this. Also, we need an action. The action will be follow or unfollow. If we have the user ID and we have the action, let's try to get the user from the user ID. User. Do I have a user here somewhere? User. So by searching through this file, I found out that we don't use the model of the user at all. We don't use the model. From models, import image, import user. Another thing that I don't know by heart is the imports. You don't need them. I mean, you most probably know them if you are a 10x or 100x engineer, but in most cases you just need to remember. You need to remember the big picture, and later you can put all of the knowledge you have in implementation once you get the tools. It's like learning how to, I don't know, create a bridge out of stone, theoretically, or out of any other material, concrete or reinforced or whatever. And once you get in a situation in which you build a stone with whatever material you have, it can be ice cream sticks. You will know how to make a bridge. So let me import this. Also, I'm following a book. I really like books. I think the best kind of knowledge you receive, the best kind of knowledge you retain is from books. So this book is named Django 3 by example. And I'm telling you, if you finish one book on whatever topic you're learning about, it's the same as finishing 10 of these hand-holding courses, which are not real, most probably made by people who don't even have an extensive amount of knowledge. I hope I don't insult anyone, but it's the truth. And they're more often than not money grabbing, quick pacing schemes. A book takes time. It takes you at least 5 or 10 or maybe 20 times as much time to write a book than to create a course. Again, maybe I'm wrong here. That's just my opinion. Contact. Contact. I also don't have a contact. From models, import image, import contact. But wait, I made a mistake. Guys, and I apologize. I apologize for this. This whole logic, it needs to be in another application. I tried writing it in images. That's not the right place for it. It needs to go into account, which makes sense because this is account and user and authentication related domain knowledge. Why would I put this in an image? I'm an idiot. Required post stages required, so I need to import two decorators. This is all right. Import profile / import contact. And here we are with the code that we started writing. Contact, objects, get or create. User from, request user, user to, user. If you are unsure what this means, I'll be with you in a second. Let me just write all of this. Otherwise, if we are unfollowing, same thing, I'm getting contact, objects, but this time I'm filtering it out. User from, request.user, user to, user, and then I'm deleting it. And I'm missing this here. Return JSON response. Oh, there's an automatic import. I like you, Django. Status. Okay, how do I like Django? Actually, it seems a bit too bloated. I'm not gonna lie to you. It seems a bit too bloated. Except user does not exist. Return. Let me just copy this. Status, I'm gonna say error, and otherwise I'm gonna create a new return status, because if we don't have user, and actually we are also failing, we are doing something bad. Again, I'm gonna explain this. I want to finish a couple of subchapters. I have written everything here on my tablet, so I'm gonna open my tablet once I have enough questions for myself also that I'm gonna explain. So this is the user follow view. You are probably wondering, what does it do? We are using this contact model to create or delete user relationships. That's the only thing that's important for now. Let us also go to urls.py, and we're gonna add a new URL patterns. Users follow, use users follow, name. Now look at this. Do you notice something interesting? They're using the same pattern. If I put users follow after user detail, this is gonna match this regular expression. It's always gonna route to users detail. So I'm gonna move it here above users detail. Next thing, template, user detail, and we need some code at the end of it. We're gonna copy some code here. I'm just gonna copy some code here. I hate this. I hate that I can't properly indent this. And most probably is gonna break as well because I have these comments inside that seem like they won't work as they should. Wait, black format. No, I don't want to restart my server. Format, document. No, it doesn't matter. Let's see what's happening here. Once the DOM is ready, once the DOM is built, we have this code here that seems complex. It's not, and I'm gonna explain you why it's not. Basically what it does is supposed to perform an AJAX request to follow or unfollow a particular user, and also to toggle the follow unfollow link here. I'm gonna explain it as well in detail in a couple of minutes. No worries. And the time is now. First thing that I want to explain is this logic right here in the user's follow view. So this is a Django shortcut, this line of code, context.objects.get or create. What this tries is to get an existing contact between the request user and the user. If it doesn't exist, it's gonna create one. Basically, this line means follow this user if you're not already following them. It's simple and to the point. What it does behind the scenes, we are not caring about that. We only care about what it does in this exact instance. Oh, by the way, here I wanted to write this. Get an user or create them. Now for the filter, here we are looking for an existing contact where both user from and user to have properties of request user and user, and if it exists, we just delete it. That's it. That's the summary in plain English. First of all, let me indent this so it looks nice. And now let's break down what all of this does. When we click a link with the class follow, we need, for a link to have the class follow for this to work, prevent default. Okay, whatever you were doing you are preventing, this page would usually navigate. So here we are preventing default. And now with the post, I'm actually sending data to the Django view using Ajax. What I'm sending my ID, I'm sending my action. If data was successful, we get the previous action. And now these indented lines of code are changing the UI, mostly because I'm getting the previous action. I'm getting the action data, and then I switch between follow or unfollow as well, the same with text. Then I just update my followers count. Can I run this app now? CD social. Wait, I need to jumpstart my environment. Source man bin activate CD social run server. Yeah, what I think about Django, it seems a bit bloated. I hope wait, running on this port. All right, we don't have anything here because I haven't created a route. But if I go to account, here I can see my dashboard. And if I look at the people, Big Boss, yeah, of course it breaks. Of course it breaks because Visual Studio Code is the worst editor. It's better to write code on paper and then take a picture of it and let the AI do some text recognition. It's better than using Visual Studio Code. And block, where are you? Yeah, one thing that I don't like about Django is that I have no idea where the issue happens. Did you forget to register load the stack? HTML. So it, oh man, invalid block on line 2. Is it here? And block it is. So this is the block title. I need to indent this a bit better. And block content. And width, line 27, we have another issue. And width and block, will this work now? Did you forget to register load this tag? And width, do I have width? I have width. And I have this block here as well. You know what's worse? I know what's worse. The worst thing is the fact that I'm complaining about this and yet I'm not doing anything to fix it, which is actually my fault. It's not the fault of it's not the fault of Visual Studio Code or Prettier or even Django. It's my fault for allowing this to happen, for letting it live right here in front of me. I'm the one responsible for this. Come on. Did you forget to register a load tag? What? I think it's this. Yeah. Oh, I hate this. Include images. So there's also another issue here. Where are you? Include images. List Ajax here. So if I follow Big Boss, Big boss, big. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. Log out. Register here. Username. Completely new user. New user. Email address. New user at gmail.com. Password. Test 1234. The best kind of password. If you have Google accounts or your crypto wallets, test 1234. You will never forget it. You know these guys that forget their passwords and they have like 500,000. And they have like $500,000 in crypto. Bruh, if you just put test 1234, you will never forget your password. Welcome new user. Now you can log in. Completely new user. Test 1234. Amazing. Edit my. Can I put a new image? So I set some image and now my profile is updated. If I go to my dashboard, if I go to people, I see myself, completely new user, and here I see big boss, and the Duke Dev. So what's happening here in this line of code? I'm sending data to this Django view. We created it using Ajax. This is the data that we are sending, the ID and action. Okay, we don't care about this function. If status is okay, this all goes. We are just handling the UI. Otherwise, no, this is if, and that's it. Actually, there's no otherwise. This is it. Now let us continue and let us build a feed. So if you are interested in how to build a feed for this project, please keep on watching. I'm gonna close my, where are you? You are here. I'm gonna close my project, my server. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop my server and then, no, not CC, C clear. I want clear. Python manage.py start app actions. I'm gonna create a new application. But I also don't like the fact that all the apps are actually in the same hierarchical level as the social app, which in my opinion should be the one encompassing all. Because what if you build 300 of those? Oh, this and that and this and that, and then you have the social where you need to register all of your apps. Suddenly it's not that easy. Actions, apps, actions, config. Where this comes from is from here, apps.py. Okay, close all of these guys. Let's go to actions. Let's enter models. Let's add a class section, models.model. Users is equal to models for a key auth user. Related name is actions. This will be the database table. DB index is true. On delete models not case cascade. Let me just add all of the other code as well. All right, let's do this. I can't do this anymore. Wait. How to add automatic imports to a Django project in VS Code. The default ones are not working. I can't do this anymore. I really don't have the nerves. I'm not one of these meditating guys that can just work through it. I'm like this princess from this fairy tale. Do you know which one? She slept on some mattresses and she felt uncomfortable if I don't know, 10 mattresses below had like a little, what was it? Like a pea. Yeah, just like that. Wait, can I run here? Do I need to interpret? Do I have an interpreter? No. Ah, maybe I need to add an interpreter. Maybe interpreter. Where are you? I don't want any of these. There's an interpreter in social. Here, my bin, and is it activate? Is this the right guy? Ah, so I had. All right. I had to just run. I had to just run my interpreter inside my VS Code, so that was the only thing missing in order to make this work. Oh shit. Okay, I'm not making as much of progress on the book as I hoped I would. So now I'm gonna do the things a bit faster. So this is the actions model that will be used to store user activities. We have the user who did the action. We have the action itself, when it's created, all of this, blah, blah, blah. Now, what are we gonna do now? Let's say we want to build a feed, and the feed is gonna say something like user liked an image, or user followed another user. But here we have something of a small problem. The image and the user are not of the same type. They're not the same model. So we need to create something more generic. So we can use this generic type, and then behind the scenes, Django is gonna say, so this is actually a user and this is actually an image. I'm gonna put user in this case here, and I'm gonna put the image in the other case. So we need to make our relations a bit more generic. So in order to have a generic relation in a model, we're gonna need 3 fields: a foreign key to the content type, a field to store the primary key of the related object, and a field to define and manage the generic relation using the 2 previous fields. The content types framework offers a generic foreign field for this purpose. Let me open models PY. I'm gonna explain this later in more detail and in an easier way, in a way that's easier to digest. So let me do a couple of imports here. Let's import content type and generic foreign key. And now here in the same model, after the verb. Let me add this. Let me add the target key. What these new fields represent? This is a foreign field, foreign key field that points to the content type model. This right here, the target ID, is a positive integer field for storing the primary key of the related object. I'm going to explain this target as well. Let's create a migration script. Python manage py make migrations actions. Will this work? It will. Python manage py migrate. This works as well. Element py. I'm also gonna add the actions model to the administration side as well. Will this work? Bum. I need action. I'm copying these from a book because I don't think these are important. Registering action models to the administration list. But okay, this works. With this, we just registered the action model in the administration site. Let's run the run server. Run server. And let's go back here. Let's go to admin. You are authenticated. Yeah, this happens. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I have actions. And I can most probably add a new action. For example, who am I following? Let's say I'm following Big Boss 2. And I'm gonna say verb is action and the target CT and target ID. So the target CT file allows us to select any of the registered models of our Django project. And we can restrict the content types to choose from a limited set of models. But here you see all of these images, target ID. So what if I say it? Big Boss 2, Vin Diesel Wikipedia. Can I see something now? Add account. Is it me? Yeah, it's me. All right. Okay. Inside actions, let us create a new file. It's going to be named utils.py. Let's add some code to it, like this. We have a create action now. It's a function that allows us to create actions that optionally include a target object. Yeah, because here it's set to none by default. That's why it says it's optional. All right, what if the user clicks several times on like or unlike button in a short succession? We all did this. So we need to avoid this, and we need to improve the create action function to skip obvious duplicated actions. Okay, if you keep watching the video, I will explain this. Don't worry. This is the new updated create action. Let me just write it down because I want to have some files here that I want to explain. So if I go, okay, let us open the view file inside images. Let me close all of these. Let me also close all the working directories. So I need some actions. I will need to store an action for each of, I don't know, user bookmarks an image, a user likes an image, a user creates an account, a user starts following another user. So if I open views.py inside my images app, and I add the import from actions, utils import create actions. Then if I go to image create, where are you, brother? New image save, it's here. And here I add create action. Request user. I'm gonna say bookmarked image, new item. Let's also image like here. Create action. Request user likes image. Let us now open the account. Let us open the account view. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm adding the import. The same import. And then where do I have a register? Here. After creating the objects, I'm adding a new action. And in users follow here, as soon as user follows someone, I'm creating another action. Now, let's say we want to display the activity stream for each user. Of course, we want to include the user's own activity. If I'm logged as someone, I don't need to watch my own activity, right? I need my own feed. So let us go again. Account views. And here, I'm gonna say login required. I'm gonna say, let's say feed. I'm gonna call it feed. I'm gonna have the request parameter here. What are the actions? Actions, I need to pull them and import them here. It's not actions, it's a singular action dot objects dot exclude. I don't want any actions I don't need any actions that are having my own ID in them. What else? Request user following values list ID flat true. If I have following IDs, if the user is following other users, let's retrieve only their actions. Actions filter user ID and user ID and following IDs. Let's say actions. Let's say only 10 actions. Oop. And let's return this. Amazing. All right, I think I'm gonna make a quick break, but before I do, I want to explain all of the concepts that might be a bit unfamiliar or crazy or new So let's start in a simple way. Again, you don't need to know how it works on a deeper level just yet. Maybe if you need a way in the future to know how some of these concepts work below the hood, that's great. But for now, we only need to know how the puzzle pieces stick together. Okay, let us talk about content type. Django, first of all, Django, if I'm not mistaken, if I go to social, if I go to our settings, we should have content types being installed by default inside our apps. And what content type does, and let me maybe just show this. Yes, what content type does, it allows us to create relationships to any model. So a content type can represent a Django model. It can represent an image. It can represent a user. It can represent whatever, a post, whatever we want. So what happens here is that instead of linking to one specific model, instead of saying this needs to be an image, we store the type of the model and the model's primary key. And the model's primary key is stored via target ID. And then we are going to also use something called a generic foreign key to make it feel like a real foreign key, but it can actually point to any model. So let me just close this. Let me go back to the code. Okay, where are you? No, where are you? It's not this file. It should be, maybe it is. No, it's not. It's inside actions. Actions.view, actions.models. I apologize. I have the user. The user is the user who performs the action. I'm getting it from the auth user. It's gonna be called in actions. And this will most probably be your own user. Okay, next we have the verb. It's just what they did, like bookmark, followed. We don't care about this. So this one. So this is the type of model being acted upon. Okay, so this is the type of model that is being acted upon. This is the primary key of the object. This is the generic foreign key, which combines the two about to access the actual object. So what happens is, when we like an image, and when we say that Django behind the scenes gets the content type for image. So this is the content type. It gets it for the image. It stores the ID of this image model, of this instance. Because we don't want to create three different action models for, like, I don't know, image action, post action, and user action. We just need one generic model for this. Next thing, let us open the utils py and the create action method. Now take a look at create action right here. Let me open tablet again. So the create action is a helper function, which is meant to create an action object, but only if a similar one hasn't already been created in the last 60 seconds. So if I break down a bit, what do we provide here? We provide the user, we provide the verb, and we provide the target, and the target default is none. So the target can be an optional attribute. And now I'm getting the current time zone. I'm getting, wait, here. I'm getting the current time zone. I'm getting the last minute from the exact moment of now. So then we query for similar actions. So if we have a target as well, we query even even more specifically. Because here we are getting content type objects get for model target. So this is the content type. And then I'm looking for similar targets from the content type and the target ID. If no similar actions are found, I save this action and I return true. I think that's it. I think the one thing that I also wanted to go over is the feed. Oops, is the feed view. And let us end this episode on the feed itself. So this method will return a feed of the latest actions, as we said, liked, bookmarked, which are made by the users we follow, excluding our own actions. Yeah, because here we are excluding. We have the request.user. Django automatically attaches the authenticated user to the request object if the user is logged in, which is great. But this only works if we have the middleware in our middleware settings. And if we use the login required decorator, which we did. Now, have you noticed the following relationship property? Following is a custom relationship we defined on our user model using something like a foreign key and a related name. Following to have it, models py. Here it is. Here I added a user model. Here I added a new action, a new property actually. Feed. And that's it. Thank you and see you in the next one.